You know what? To celebrate, let's try these real quick. No, I'm just kidding. We'll wait till the end.
I was ready.
No,
You're gonna get weeds in the
like
studio.
that. You know what? My mind went to the reality that we have beers, and I don't want this.
Now
crap.
these, we got enough to each just have our own can.
Yeah, that's why I brought them now.
So let me distribute here.
For the peeps at home, it's you want to go ahead and tell them what this is while I hold it up?
This is a Ye Olde Regulator lager. It was originally born in Bloomington. Big Red's Liquors is carrying these now in a 24-pack for $15.99. And I've been eyeing them for a few weeks, but I didn't want to, take the risk on them. But I went ahead and bought them last night because I had a 20 in my pocket, and I said to hell with it. And they're not bad. They're not bad.
So I'm going to go ahead and say it. Ye Olde Regulator!
Mount up!
That's what I was going to say.
Now, I think it's time that we crack
Those brews.
those brews!
Oh. Oh, yeah, it's good.
So the can says nowhere what the ABV is, but I would put this about a 5, maybe 5.2% somewhere.
Out of 5 brews?
No, ABV, asshole. But I tried 2 of these last night and I actually got a decent buzz off 2, so...
I taste notes of coconut.
I do not.
That's not nothing. Getting a buzz off 2 beers.
Right. It's I liken it to a more robust Cook's. It's about like a Cook's, but a little more robust. Maybe a little more high in the ABV. But yeah, after 2, I had to eat something. I was like, what?
Not what I expected. And this whole regulator thing, is this got anything to do with prohibition?
I don't know.
Yeah, who's that on the cover there?
He looks like don't look like a nice guy, I'll tell you that much.
He's like, hey, don't look at what's behind there, okay? You don't want to see that. You don't want to know nothing about what I got going on in that shack.
I guess
Or that barn. Or maybe it's a boat. I don't know.
maybe he's
Guard
a butcher.
shack.
I mean, he's just a
baby,
guy in a
guard
white
shack.
outfit with a nice hat and a bow tie. So really, I mean, he could be a mayor or a butcher.
Is he playing croquet?
Mayor
What's he
or
doing?
butcher.
He's a mayor or a butcher, my friend. Aren't we all, though?
And then
Or
there's an
maybe
old-timey
both.
car.
Hey, the mayor could be a butcher. I'm cool with that. My grandfather was a butcher.
Sam was a butcher.
This is
He
a
was
good
banging
subject.
Alice.
Yeah,
If-
Sam was banging Alice, would you?
Alice, the housekeeper? The maid?
Just answer the question.
No.
All right. Candace Bergen now or 1965? 6? Or what, 69?
I definitely wouldn't bang her now.
Yeah, definitely.
What?
Of the 2, choose the earlier. But I had a different subject I was going to launch into, talking about being butchers, all right?
Oh, God.
Now, look, I had this conversation with my dad recently, and it was the concept that if we had to butcher our own meat, basically anytime we wanted meat, how would that affect our meat consumption? Question for our guest.
Well, that's a good question. I mean, if I had to butcher my own meat, I assume I would. I mean, we're living in a world now where everything's so easy you don't have to. You just go to the supermarket and buy meat. But if it came down to having to butcher my own shit, I've seen enough survival TV shows that I could probably do it. And there's plenty of squirrels in my backyard, so I'll be eating pretty good. They're good and fatty. You make a good gravy out of them.
I saw the oldest looking squirrel running on the street earlier. It was like Grandpa Squirrel. I was like, dude, I'm not eating you.
Follow-up question.
Follow up?
Would chicken nuggets exist?
No, I've eaten a lot of squirrel nuggets.
What does that mean?
I would cut the meat into small bite-sized pieces, bread, and fry them.
Okay.
Fair enough.
There would be no chicken nuggets.
I think that you could, I mean, I wonder if squirrel nuggets seems like it'd be a little more involved, because all squirrel meat is basically like chicken wings.
Probably. I love chicken
Yes or
nuggets.
yes?
I would eat a squirrel. I don't care. I got all this. Once this cereal runs out, I mean, you got what is this?
Wait! You
honeycomb over here?
You've never eaten squirrel before? I thought we talked about this.
I've never eaten a squirrel.
Oh.
I was.
Would you
born
eat a raccoon?
You shouldn't.
Right?
Yeah, they seem
garbage in, garbage out.
They
you
seem
know?
too much like people.
They have fingers. I couldn't eat something with
Yeah,
fingers.
I don't want something with thumbs.
Here was my answer to the question, right? If you got to butcher your own meat, I said that I would probably eat less meat, definitely not cow, but then I would start getting a hankering for it, and I'd go like get myself a chicken or a goose or especially geese.
Yeah,
Like, come on,
I gotta
I'm
say,
eating you.
This time
right?
of year with all the Canadian geese around, I'm always eyeing them like.
No, you look at it. It's like the
No.
cartoon when they like turn into the.
I
meat.
had the thought the other day. I was literally looking at a goose and I was going, "Damn, just that neck would be a good fucking meal."
Let me just chomp on the.
You talk
neck.
about gravy.
Like
neck
Gollum,
meat-
just.
Yeah, neck meat makes the best gravy,
I
and
mean-
so do the gizzards. But you know what else? Have you seen my side yard, dude? I'm like harvesting like 25 geese at all given times. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like with your geese and my squirrels.
And dude, I
we're
think you
unstoppable.
could. A lot of them you could literally walk up to with a rifle or a bow and arrow and just like line it up.
You could
And
walk up with a fucking 2x4 like Cactus Jack and whack them.
My brother told me this story about being out in Northern California and they were trying to get a turkey, and they did that technique. And they like blasted it with a board, and its neck was sideways, and it was still alive, just like kicking around. And then, like in a classic way, this like little kid, like 12-year-old kid with overalls, shows up with a shotgun and just like blasts the thing's head off. It's like, there you go. You know, like,
Wow.
took care of it for you there, city slickers.
Wow.
well, you know what? A few things here. This makes me think of something we discussed last night. You had a list, or you
Oh,
wanted,
I do have a
you wanted
list.
to make a list.
And yeah, no, this is a thing. But first, I don't want to get too far away from the regulators without giving a rating.
Oh,
all right?
shit, yeah.
So, guest, Harlow Santana, what is your rating on the regulator?
I'm gonna give it a solid like for the price and the amount you get for the money. I give it a solid 4. It's a pretty good drink. I could mow the yard with it. I could sit on the porch and look at the yard that needs mowed while drinking it.
Now, if you were to show off that number, say with your hand, what would it be?
Like a 4?
Oh, nice! What? Oh, that was really good. Okay,
That was a good shot.
how
You
much-
know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give it a 3.5 because it's about the same as the nap in the hammock, right? But it's like a third of the price or something. So I'm
No,
giving it a 3.5.
This is a Bavarian style lager brewed in the natural tradition.
I'm just saying in terms of tastiness. I know it's not
Oh,
the
I got
same
you.
kind of
I
beer,
got
but
you.
just like
So you're
the-
saying the mid level is just as good as the high level?
so it gets the better rating.
Okay.
Because it's more affordable.
Yeah, then the affordable like kind of weighs the scale. I'm gonna go and say like a 4.25.
That's a good.
4.25.
I feel.
A generous rating.
What's the price you were given on this?
$15.99, $18 with tax after tax for a 24 pack.
Oh, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
That's very reasonable. That's less than a
That's
buck
like
a beer.
65 cents a beer.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty good. I like that so much that I'll actually raise it up to a 4.35.
Damn.
Now,
An extra tenth of a point.
Yeah.
An extra tenth of a point,
That's
ladies
the-
and gentlemen.
But I honestly 4.25. It's a great brew. I like the how you don't really know what's going on the can. Like
The
this
can
whole-
looks like that big sign in like Meyer. It's like Fred Meyer started the store in 1928.
It's like the most obscure blurred image of this
Right.
dude.
It's
that's-
like is he a butcher? Is he selling cars? Is that a coat or an apron?
right. What do you
And
sell?
what's the guy behind him looking at?
I think that's when he was murdered.
Is that a
And they
tractor
took
trailer?
over
Is that a
the brewery.
tire? I don't know.